Hi, I'm Morgan Swindler, and on this episode of Western Chester County Checks In, we're here at JS All Things Plumbing. You're not going to want to miss their #1 piece of advice that all homeowners should know. But before we get to that, let's go check them out. We met with Bob Spar of JS All Things Plumbing, and he tells us about how his hobby turned into a business.
What inspired me, my lead plumber and I worked for a company over 15 years ago, and they did away with their plumbing department. So at 56, I said to my wife, now what do I do? And she said, well, why don't you retire? And I said, well, I'm not quite ready for that. 15 years later, I'm still not quite ready for retiring.
Bob explains how he ensures quality of service.
We tell our customers that we want everyone they talk to have nothing but good things to say about us. Now, how you're going to do that is you do a good job. We try and be on time. We are on time. Clean up after ourselves. We use drop cloths. We use coverings for our shoes. And we call the customer as time allows to see how everything went and if they're happy with their job. And we beg them, literally beg them, at least I do personally, that the minute you have a problem or a question, please reach out to us.
Jeannie, General Manager, tells us about their services.
We have a technician that's certified in backflow prevention. They can certify them, he can install them. We have a hydro jetting machine that jets up to 22-inch size water lines. We're certified Ream technician, A.O. Smith technician, Bradford White, along with having a backhoe to dig water lines, sewer lines, and a lot of other things that go with the plumbing world.
She talks about the team at JS All Things Plumbing.
So teamwork in our company is communication. Everybody is very well communications with each other. Everybody knows where everybody is, what time of day they're at a job, when they're leaving the job, when they're on to the next job. So communication for us is a big help with teamwork.
Nicole, Operations Manager, agrees the team's communication is key.
We have a really great team right now. Because we're such a small business, everybody gets to know each other well, and we communicate with each other well. Bob in particular is very good about listening to everyone's input and taking everyone's needs and opinions into consideration. I think we just work really well as a team.
She tells us how the community helps the company grow.
It's very nice being in a small community where it's easy to get involved, get to know people. I know Bob has been involved with the Chamber since very early on and been active in that. He's also very active in the Coatesville Rotary Club, which I've recently joined, and I'm the treasurer of the Honeybrook Community Partnership. It's great just to be able to be out in the community, to get to know people, meet other small businesses, and help each other.
Bob tells us about the most rewarding part of his job.
My favorite is the residential, the small little old lady, as we put it, that's pulling their hair out and everything's an emergency. We can get out there the same day or the next day and at least stabilize the situation. Those give me the most satisfaction of all.
He tells us why he believes JS All Things Plumbing is successful.
The main reason I credit us getting to where we are is the workforce that I have. I'm blessed with Nicole and also Jeannie. They've done an excellent job.
Bob gives us his #1 piece of advice all homeowners should know.
I have one big tip for starters. There's a lot, but I have one big tip for starters. Know where your shutoff is for the main coming into your house. Because what we try and do is stabilize the situation first, and usually we ask them, do you know where your shutoff is? Well, if you have somebody pulling their hair out and they have an emergency, that's the last thing on their mind. So find and or label where that water shutoff is, that valve that comes into the house. So if worst comes to worst, boom, they can shut the water off and we move on from there.
Whether it's a leaky faucet or a plumbing emergency, JS All Things Plumbing is there for you. I'm Morgan Swindler, and this has been Western Chester County Checks In. See you next time.